Oh, hey there. Yeah, she's a beaut. I got her off Amazon. I was like, I gotta be doing my cold therapy. I gotta be doing it every morning. Sometimes I just come out here, I don't even get in, but I take a picture, post on Instagram, hardcore. I told the wife, I said, I gotta have it. She said, that's stupid, but we got it. And I made her stand in it. She said, this is really stupid. Oh yeah, it's I'm doing a cold bath. It's recover. Doing a challenge, cold bath every day, lift my body weight over my head. I know there's a Strongman. Okay, bye. Oh, I'm just hanging out today. I work later. Work later. Yeah, I compete in strongman. It's true. Endurance training. No. Go down the street. Bob will have his Normatec out on his front porch in the spring. We don't want any of that around here. Hey neighbor. Oh no, I'm filming a YouTube video. Trying to be a fitness influencer. Yeah, I watched Wim Hof and the Stoltman brothers, and those guys are huge. So I figured I got to do it. Hey, rest when you're dead, right? Except if you need to recover. Hello, and welcome back to the Fox Strength Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox, and we are going through some recovery stuff right now. So, starting with an anterior capsule mode for my shoulder. I had my fiance release my subscap last night, so trying to work on the anterior capsule with a couple things. If you're missing internal rotation, if you feel like you kind of get stuck a portion of the way down the bench or overhead press, I would try this out. It's a great one. So you just make sure, get the band kind of over the front of the shoulder, but also a little bit on the AC joint. Get into internal rotation first, and then lean forward and put resistance on the band. So that's going to pull that humerus into the back of the socket, and then it's just mobilizing the anterior capsule so it's less tight in the front and opening up that range of motion for you. You can also do like some neck movement with it. So my levator is really tight, so I'll pull forward like this, but you can also hit upper trap, going directly to the side. If you get any numbness, tingling, that's usually temporary, but you should come out of the stretch immediately. So don't sit there like, it's pain, it's temporary, like I can take it. No, just like come out of the stretch, reset, let everything come back to normal, and then you can just do another set. The next one, actually going to be two different things, involves a lacrosse ball. So this one has an elasticon tape on it to give it some grip. The ball just got very worn out, so it was very smooth and hard to stick to something. But you want it to stick to the rack. A good new lacrosse ball will do that because it's got more grip to it. And then we're just going to line it up kind of over the bicep tendon, in the front of the shoulder, AB duct, and then similar to the last one, you're internally rotating and you're rolling that humerus over the front of the ball. So that's going to hit a bunch of different tendons and really open that area up. And then we'll kind of stick it more pec minor, so right under the collarbone. And you should really be fishing around for spots that are really tight and really bother you. And then we're just going to do some shoulder flexion with that. And this can be really uncomfortable, especially if you get it on the right spot. But you're going to feel amazing with your overhead when you hit it again and you're not super tight and you don't have that anterior tilting of your shoulder blade because your pec minor is so tight it's pulling it forward. And you can even sit here and just pressure for a little bit, breathe, let that release, and then go up again. The next one is going to be a lat stretch. So we're hooking the band over top of the rack. If you have a rack that isn't weighted down, please be careful because even just this band tension can pull the rack over. So I like to stretch with the palm down and really try to emphasize that overhead position, like you would get an overhead press. And then because the lat is an internal rotator, I'll externally rotate with the band and then come back straight arm and try to lean into that position a lot on the one side. So the next one is going to be an anterior capsule mode for the hip. So I'm going to loop my leg through the band, get the band right up around my hip joint. You really want it like right under your butt. So that's pulling on the top of that femur. You want to be in hip extension, so squeeze your butt, and then you're just lunging forward. And the whole time squeezing your butt, you want to feel that pull, the stretch in the front of the hip and the hip flexors. I think this is a great one if you sit a lot or if you feel like you're anterior rotated, like you have really tight hip flexors. And this really hits the quad too, like come all the way back. And like the advanced version of that is like the couch stretch with your foot up on a box. And that will just get you more quad stretch, even bigger like stretch through the whole movement. So the last stretch mobilization we're gonna do is the upside down hanging. Now people are always like, this is crazy the amount of band tension that you use. 300 pounds. Cold rolled steel. So we're going to use 2 grays and 2 blues, and that keeps a safe amount of tension, keep me from hitting the floor, give me a good like hanging support. I feel comfortable with this setup. So we loop it through one side and hook it onto the carabiner. We want to try to keep the bands organized as we go to the other side, so it kind of like makes like a nice half circle that you can just like sit in. Big point, this is hung on the rack on a part that has a lot of support. It's in the confines of the rack, but it's not super deep. And then I have a box set up that I can step off of. So it's kind of just like loop yourself through and then get up here, maneuver your hips and the bands. And here we are, just hanging around. And I feel like I've had a lot of decent compression the past couple weeks, coming off of vacation, getting back into training, so I feel like this is pretty good. And I'll probably try to do it tonight as well, just to feel recovered and prepared for squats tomorrow. I've also have my dogs out here, so Dawkins! Oh, he don't want to listen. Dawkins! Dawkins, come! Oh, hi, buddy. You want to be in a YouTube video? Yeah. Hello. Give it. No. Give it. Give it. Enough. Okay, you can go outside now. Enough. All done. We'll play this game of fetch while I hang upside down, to be honest. Like, we do it a decent amount in here while I'm hanging, and it's a good time. Woo! All right. So often I'll set a timer. I just kind of like gonna hang here for as long as I feel like talking, but we can get some different stretches in with this as well. I like to do a hip flexor stretch, a groin glute stretch, and do about like 3 to 5 minutes total up here. And now we're on to the last iteration of this video today, and that is the thing that started it all, the cold pod. So I feel like this was a good recovery day. I did some decent methods for a bunch of different areas of my body. I feel a lot better with that, and now I'm just going to jump in here for 5 to 6 minutes and then head off to work. Now some people might be like, well, it doesn't need to be 10, 15, 20. I know Mitchell Hooper has been doing his No Stone Unturned, and that is very cool. I'm a big fan of it. I know the one study was like 15 minutes is like the sweet spot. Others, it's like it doesn't even matter, like it doesn't work. My thing is like I do this daily, and I try to build up an allotment, and this will probably be something I do tonight as well. Like coming off a second shift helps me to sleep, helps me to get like a nice reset from a shift that I really don't like working. I'm not gonna stop doing it, and like I said, I made a Instagram reel about the hanging strap and doing that, and I was like, if it's incorporated into an organized plan that has reason and attention, then I'm all for it. If it's something like you're just gonna do once in a while, like if I used this a few times a month, it makes no sense to have it, but I really do it like 5 times a week at least, and really try to be like in here 7 days a week. And it's the same thing with the strap. Like if I have some heavy loading, like I trained yesterday, I trained Friday, I did like squats with a lot of band tension, clean and press. I trained with my fiance like later, just doing like some extra work. Like there was a lot of loading there. Like I was definitely feeling it this morning, so that makes sense. I'm also very sore, so it makes sense to get in here because I feel like it helps and improves my soreness and aids in my recovery. If you don't have a reason for it, if you're just like, I saw somebody else do it, so I'm gonna get in here, and it really doesn't drive you and like isn't part of your routine, I'm not following through on it, it makes no sense. Like reorganize your plan and put something else in that slot, like make something else the priority and actually do it. And like if it helps, continue and keeping consistent plan with it. I just know like there's too many people talking about the cold immersion, there's too many people talking about contrast, and there's too many people talking about the sauna stuff to not do it. I'm a bigger fan of the cold than I am the heat, but I've been incorporating both of late. And this is all anecdotal. I don't have studies to bring up. I feel like this helps me. I'm going to go back onto a 6 a.m. schedule next week. I'm going to be in here at 5 in the morning doing this. And then I just feel great, like, for the rest of the day. Like the past have just been like, oh my god, like how am I gonna get to noon, and then how am I gonna get through the afternoon, and then sometimes I have to go work extra events or train clients or make other videos, and it can be really frustrating. But like when you're recovering better and you're not walking around achy and sore all the time and things feel good, like I have much less of those weeks where it's like my toe flares up, my knee flares up, my shoulder flares up, and then it's just a struggle for that whole week, which then like you throw out just some of the training. I always work around stuff and keep the ball rolling, but like there's certain things you're just not gonna be able to do, and then it's like you have to work back to that, like those items of training that you were like really consistent with, now you have to try to work that back into your plan, and that's really frustrating. So I just like to not have to deal with any of that. So I'm in here, I'm recovering, things feel good, like I feel explosive and I feel strong and I'm ready to go. But hey, I hope this timer goes off soon. There it is, there's the timer, yay! I thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if there's a recovery method that you find especially helpful that I could give a try. Keep working on your bodies, work on yourself, keep lifting those heavy weights, and hold strong. Dawkins, I'm so cold. Ah! Oh my god, give me my towel. My towel!